যোৱা দেওবাৰে ফিলিপাইনছৰ ৰাজধানী মানিলাৰ পৰা এই ৱেবিনাৰ পৰিচালিত হৈছিল। এছিয়া ইণ্ডিজিনাছ পিপলছ ফেক্টৰ পৃষ্ঠপোষকতাত এছিয়া ইণ্ডিজিনাছ ইউথ প্লেটফৰ্ম আৰু ইণ্ডিজিনাছ মুভমেণ্ট অফ কেথলিক ষ্টুডেণ্টৰ উদ্যোগত ভাৰতীয় সময়মতে 4:30 বজাৰ পৰা 6:10 বজালৈ অনুষ্ঠিত হৈছিল এই আন্তঃৰাষ্ট্ৰীয় ৱেবিনাৰ। বিশ্ব খিলঞ্জীয়া দিৱস উপলক্ষে আয়োজন কৰিছিল এই ৱেবিনাৰ আৰু তাত প্ৰধানত আলোচনা হৈছিল কেনেকৈ খিলঞ্জীয়া মহিলা আৰু পুৰুষে সীমিতকৰণৰ বহুমুখী দিশবোৰ অতিক্ৰম কৰি আগুৱাই যাব। এই বিষয়ত হোৱা আলোচনা ইণ্ডিজিনাছ মুভমেণ্ট অফ কেথলিক ষ্টুডেণ্টছৰ সমন্বয়ক উইলিয়াম নক্ৰেকে উদ্বোধনী ভাষণ দিছিল আৰু আদৰণি ভাষণ দিছিল এছিয়া ইণ্ডিজিনাছ পিপলছ প্লেটফৰ্মৰ সদস্যা চন্দ্ৰা ত্ৰিপুৰাই। খিলঞ্জীয়া মুভমেণ্টৰ ঐতিহাসিক দিশ, ইয়াৰ বাধা আৰু প্ৰত্যাহ্বান সম্পৰ্কে ব্যাখ্যা দাঙি ধৰিছিল মালয়েছিয়া চৰকাৰৰ সাংসদ তথা এছিয়া ইণ্ডিজিনিয়াছ পিপলছ ফেক্টৰ প্ৰাক্তন মহাসচিব শ্ৰীমতী জেন্নি লাচিম্বাঙে। খিলঞ্জীয়া মুভমেণ্টৰ বাধা আৰু প্ৰত্যাহ্বান সম্পৰ্কে ব্যাখ্যা কৰিছিল এছিয়া ইণ্ডিজিনাছ পিপলছ ফেক্টৰ মহাসচিব গাম এ চিমৰে। খিলঞ্জীয়াৰ নতুন পুৰুষক উদ্দেশ্যি আৰু খিলঞ্জীয়াৰ সংগ্ৰামত অংশগ্ৰহণ কৰিবলৈ আহ্বান জনাই ভাষণ দিছিল এছিয়া ইণ্ডিজিনাছ পিপলছ ফেক্টৰ প্ৰাক্তন মহাসচিব জৱান কাৰ্লিনে। ইউনেস্কোৰ ভৱিষ্যত পৰিকল্পনা সম্পৰ্কে ব্যাখ্যা দাঙি ধৰে ইউনেস্কোৰ এছিয়াৰ আঞ্চলিক উপদেষ্টা শ্ৰীমতী ভিজে সুসানে। ফিলিপাইন, মালয়েছিয়া, থাইলেণ্ড, ইণ্ডোনেছিয়া, বাংলাদেশ, নেপাল আদি পৃথিৱীৰ বিভিন্ন দেশৰ ৭৫গৰাকী বিশিষ্ট ব্যক্তিয়ে অংশগ্ৰহণ কৰিছিল এই ৱেবিনাৰত। আমাৰ কাৰণে সৌভাগ্যৰ বিষয় যে ভাৰতৰ পৰা তথা অসমৰ একমাত্ৰ আমি অসম সন্মিলিত মহাসংঘই আমি যোগদান কৰিছিলোঁ। মহাসংঘৰ হৈ মই এই গোটেই এই কথাখিনি দাঙি ধৰিছিলোঁ। স্বাধীন অসমৰ প্ৰাচীন যে ৰাজধানী এই গড়গাঁৱৰ পৰা মই অংশগ্ৰহণ কৰিছিলোঁ ৱেবিনাৰত আৰু তাত আমি অসমৰ খিলঞ্জীয়াৰ যিটো বাধা আৰু প্ৰত্যাহ্বান সম্পৰ্কে বক্তব্য দাঙি ধৰিছোঁ।
Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon and good evening. Thank you to each and everyone of you to being here with us. We are very pleased to be able to welcome those of you that have been with us for a long time, and now as well as those who are new to the Infiltration Speak Asian Business Youth Platform and Bangladesh Youth Forum. Asia Indigenous Peoples Pact and IMC's Asia Pacific team and our honorable speaker. We could not have done it without you. So let's begin our webinar. Now I would like to invite Ms. Chandra Tripura, Executive Council members of Asia Indigenous Peoples Pact. A welcome speech on behalf of Asia Indigenous Youth Platform, IMCS Indigenous Youth Commission, and Bangladesh Indigenous Youth Forum.
Thank you so much, William. I'd like to thank IMCA for this amazing initiative and for starting this amazing bridge for all indigenous youths around the world, and for welcoming Asia Indigenous Youth Platform and Bangladesh Indigenous Youth Forum to being the co-host for this amazing initiative today. Three most inspirational role for all indigenous communities, particularly for indigenous youths, Ms. Janila Simpang. And of course, we have Gam Shimarai, our Secretary General of Asia Indigenous Peoples Pact, who always, who have been a mentor for me in my life and always showering love to all the indigenous youths.
MLA Sabah, Malaysia, and she is a former Secretary General of AIPP and former member of IMRIP, to share with us her historical background of becoming a global women leader for indigenous movement by overcoming various obstacles and challenges. And she will share with us the importance of participation in national politics for indigenous peoples. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much to for this invitation. The Indigenous Youth Platform, Indigenous Movement of the IMCS, and also the Bangladesh Indigenous Youth Forum. I'm very pleased to be able to join this, and I do hope that we are able to share a little bit about what the topic is. So briefly, Kopi Posian, greetings to everyone, to all the participants here. I understand many are youths, but also students from various countries. For me personally, I mean, I didn't know what exactly need to be shared, but I thought, the experience we have. Of course, for us, we started when it was early in the 80s. For me, going from my personal experience as a woman, also an indigenous woman activist, I think there are very few women even today who are still very active in going to communities, going to internationally. There's been a lot of increase of.
Now I would like to invite Mr. Gam Shimre, Secretary General of Asia Indigenous Peoples Pact, to share with us his historical background of becoming a global leader for the indigenous movement by overcoming various obstacles and challenges, and provide a future picture of indigenous peoples. Welcome, sir.
Good evening to all of you, and thank you very much, William. It was indeed quite a refresher and a pleasure to hear Jenny sharing her experiences. And first, before I go ahead, I just want to apologize that I won't be able to stay for the whole program. But you are in good hands of many people, so apologies for that. But yes, while thinking about what to share here and the questions that you have put, I thought, yes, I will try to reflect myself when I was a youth, and in my youth life, perhaps what kind of questions and what kind of experiences changed me. You are talking about inspiration and leadership and so on, and perhaps my experience, if at all, could also be something that you might find it relevant. At the beginning, I just want to say that in the IBP itself, there has been quite a few leaders and also from the communities and also as AIPP that have had a lot of impact on me. For example, I know I also worked very closely with Jenny. She is somebody I've always looked up and being very wise when it comes.
So now I would like to invite Mrs. Joan Carling, co-convener Indigenous Peoples Major Group for the SDGs, former General Secretary, Asia Indigenous Peoples Pact, and a former member, the United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues, to share with us her historical background of becoming a global women leader for the indigenous movement by overcoming various obstacles and challenges, and the importance of participation in decision making and policy making process of national and intergovernmental agencies. Welcome, Mom.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to hear from Jenny and Gam. We are all together in the Asia Indigenous Peoples Pact, and I'm also happy to see all this is young in indigenous. It's also encouraging for us, the older generation, to know that the indigenous youth are stepping up, and I hope many of you will be engaged in the long term in relation to advancing the indigenous peoples movement in the region, in Asia, but also at the global level, will bring us in the right direction and in a way that we can advance our vision as indigenous peoples. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your nice sharing and speech. Thank you. All our participants, if you have questions to our three speakers, so its floor is open now. So if you have any questions, you can raise your hand. So one comments from Assam, Mr. Matiur Rahman. Mr. Matiur Rahman, are you here?
Yes. I am from Assam. We are day to day marginalized as because of main problem of Assam, of indigenous people, is the influx problem from neighboring country, Bangladesh and Nepal. So we are suffering a lot. So we urge the global community, all the indigenous groups of different countries, please help us in this regard. As because of we are fighting for our rights, and we appeal in the Supreme Court also, but court is also now silent. No final decision is yet taken. So we are in a grave danger situation. So in this situation, if our Asia organization or the other indigenous organization can help us, then we can proceed, and then we can solve the problem of influx. And we want implementation of UNDRIP also, but we appeal in the Supreme Court to instruct the government of India for implementation of UNDRIP in Assam, but it is also hanging now. So no final decision not yet taken. And for the COVID situation, the open hearing of the Supreme Court is also stopped. So we are in a great trouble. Please, in this regard, I have written clearly yesterday to the organization. So just I am appeal to all that we are the indigenous communities and the races of Assam we are in a great danger situation, and we are going to be outnumbered, marginalized. Our indigenous women and men also not represent in the assembly and the parliament. We are totally deprived our own indigenous rights, our land rights, our water rights, in every respect, in every field. We are lost. We are losing like anything. So I appeal everybody, please look into the matter and please help us in this regard. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Matiur. Would you like to respond to Mr. Matiur?
Maybe I'll say a few words in relation to our topic today, if you allow. And I think, especially it was said, that I think many indigenous peoples everywhere in the world are experiencing this kind of marginalization, even conflict, and a very serious situation. But going back, for example, you were saying not represented politically. And this is where I think even as indigenous peoples, we have tried to, we must aspire to go there. We must try to build among ourselves political alliances, maybe leaders who can eventually go into politics. Talking about myself now. I mean, we may feel helpless and unrepresented in national parties. It doesn't matter, I think, in the beginning, whether we are aligned to any political parties, whether they're in government or opposition. But consider if young people start considering politics, being there and, joining them, also developing good leaders, for example, speakers at the community, because many of us, I find, are changed because we just need one person who give false information, use sentiments, and we go to vote for them. This is actually our golden opportunity during political, example, during elections to put out our voice. In many countries now, of course, they now have indigenous parties. That might not be the solution for us, but we have to go there. We have to be brave enough to have young people going in, start now talking, they're community educators and communicators, so that, we are not played by sentiments, we are not played by dirty politics, and then step by step, we will get there. But I think start now. There are many young people here. I know the speaker is probably already older himself, but we won't get anywhere by just looking at the situation. Many of you are already involved in internationally, maybe writing to the special rapporteur or other ways to do it. But at the local level, this is my experience that we can do. And of course, there will be frustration, but we cover all levels. And I think as indigenous peoples, we will get there. We cannot lose hope. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
আনন্দৰ বিষয় যে আমি প্ৰথমবাৰৰ কাৰণে আন্তঃৰাষ্ট্ৰীয় মঞ্চত অসমৰ যিটো বিদেশী নাগৰিকৰ প্ৰব্ৰজনৰ সমস্যা, বিশেষতঃ বাংলাদেশী আৰু নেপালী বিদেশী নাগৰিকৰ সমস্যাটো দাঙি ধৰিছিলোঁ। অসম সন্মিলিত মহাসংঘৰ কাৰণে অতি গৌৰৱৰ কথা যে আমি আন্তঃৰাষ্ট্ৰীয় মঞ্চত অসমৰ বিশেষভাৱে বিদেশীৰ অবৈধ যিটো প্ৰব্ৰজন, সেইটো দীৰ্ঘকাল ধৰি আমাৰ অসমৰ খিলঞ্জীয়াসকলক বিভিন্ন ধৰণে কষ্ট দি আহিছে, বিভিন্ন সমস্যাৰ আমি সন্মুখীন হৈছোঁ। মাটি দখল কৰিছে, আমাৰ বিভিন্ন গাঁৱৰ পিছত গাঁও দখল কৰিছে, ৰাজনৈতিক অধিকাৰৰ পৰা আমি বঞ্চিত হৈছোঁ। এনেকুৱা এটা ভয়াৱহ সমস্যা প্ৰথমবাৰৰ কাৰণে আন্তঃৰাষ্ট্ৰীয় মঞ্চত দাঙি ধৰিব পৰাটো আমাৰ কাৰণে এটা সুযোগ আহিছে আৰু আমি সেই সুযোগৰ সদ্ব্যৱহাৰ কৰিছোঁ। আশা ৰাখিছোঁ যে পৰৱৰ্তী পৰ্যায়ত আন্তঃৰাষ্ট্ৰীয় পৰ্যায়ত আমি বিশেষ সহযোগিতা আমি বিচাৰিছোঁ এই সমস্যা সমাধানৰ কাৰণে, আৰু আমি নিশ্চয় এটা সুযোগ পাম আৰু আমাৰ এই দীৰ্ঘদিনীয়া সমস্যা সমাধানৰ কাৰণে আমাৰ এটা দিশ, সফলতাৰ দিশ আহিব। আটাইতকৈ গুৰুত্বপূৰ্ণ কথা যে অসমৰ এই দীৰ্ঘদিনীয়া সমস্যাটো সমাধান কৰাৰ কাৰণে আমাৰ নিজৰ যিবোৰ ৰাজনৈতিক দল সেইবোৰ বিপথে পৰিচালিত, আৰু তেওঁলোকে বিদেশী ভোটৰ স্বাৰ্থত বিদেশীসকলকে ৰক্ষণাবেক্ষণ দি আহিছে। এইটো 100% সত্য। গতিকে আমি বিচাৰোঁ যে এটা সাংবিধানিক আৰু ন্যায়সংগত সমাধান হওক, আৰু দৰকাৰ হ'লে আন্তঃৰাষ্ট্ৰীয় সহযোগিতাৰেও আমি এই ক্ষেত্ৰত সমাধানৰ কাৰণে আমি আগবাঢ়িব লাগিব।